This is your host, Orchid, for the ESGN Battlefield Dispatch, thanks to Turtle Beach. Our footage this week comes courtesy of Fatal Error's White Candy Van from his recent 4v4 preliminary finals match. We hope you enjoy it. Well, another epic competition week has ended in the ESGN Infantry Tournament, and the Squad Rush League has finally reached the Grand Final. Exposure and Fatal Error will duke it out over a minimum of 6 rounds to decide who is the best Squad Rush team in the league. We'll be getting as many recorders as possible to operate during that match, and we will look forward to presenting a 4-way view, with any luck from both sides of the game, a little later on. But firstly, let's go to the results in round 3 of the ESGN Infantry Tournament. In the pros, we had Equilibrium defeating Weed, and Ascension defeated FTP, with SOR and Plumbers both taking a bye. And in the inters, we had DCM Young Guns defeating Ascension, Beer defeating To The Death, and the People's Republic of ESGN defeating DCM Muppets. Great games to all, best of luck with your next lineups, and be sure to check out the various forums on esgn.com.au under the Battlefield section to follow those as those progress. So, in the meantime, let's move on to part 2 of my interview with Destroyed Aus, where we ramble on about the history of ESGN and how he came to become head tool in the shed. So we'll go into a bit of the history of the ESGN community and where you came from and where you came into it. So how did you come to ESGN?
The Xbox 360 was my first main console, and I was playing Vegas 2 online with a few people. And eventually I bought BC2 on a whim because I hadn't played a PC or a BF game since I played on PC. Picked up BC2, and I was just playing on Xbox Live one night, and I ran into Al, also known as, back then it was I'm Gonna Get You Sucker. I think now it was Tip of the Spear, now it's something else. But yeah, I ran across him and just randomly sent him a message saying thanks for the squad or whatever all that is. And then one Sunday I was randomly playing with him and I went to send him a message, but instead joined his party on BC2. And in the party was like Ashcore, Westy, Docs, a few people that like the main leaders of POA.
Yep.
And like complete random like meeting. And from there I got invited to a couple of BC2 like fight nights. And then I sort of just asserted the fact that I wanted to put more time and effort in, and like I got more responsibility. I was running the comp team that was sort of, when I say comp I mean it was sort of the comp team on BC2 was a bit slower and the players were on and off. And then I was doing got to the point where I was doing most of the admin stuff on the website. Like I was running I was pretty much go-to for all of them for fixing anything, like running back-end, fixing pages, fixing members, banning members, adding forums, stuff like that. While I was also playing, I was also captaining Battlefield. I was doing Battlefield comps and stuff like that. And basically that was from March 2010-ish, when the game sort of first came out, to end of 2011, I think BF3 was about end of 2011, wasn't it?
Yeah, BF3 was October 2011.
Yeah, and about the same time that BF3 was launching, POA decided to merge with mygaming.net or something, which was, like Mad Rooter and a few other guys. And basically we joined sites. And from there it was sort of them trying to work out where I'd go and where everyone else from POA who did all the work would go. And I sort of just got pushed around a few positions, and basically I was just coordinating BF3 on Xbox, doing forums with people. I was on Skype groups to try and coordinate the website organization on the forums and stuff like that. I was sort of pushed back a fair bit from the control. Like in POA, I ran everything, and everything went through me in terms of any technical developments. But when we merged, I was sort of just put more in the dark and just did stuff when asked.
Took a bit of a back seat on some of these things. And I mean, were you necessarily unhappy about that, or did you?
Yeah. Well, I was like, I'm not really one to hold back on that sort of.
Oh no. I've never known you to hold back on anything, Destro.
Yeah.
If you've got something to say, you'll say it, that's for sure.
Yeah, so I did mention a few times that I was sort of looking for more roles, and it was the problem was it was just like a really confusing period because the higher up dudes that had made the business choice, like Ashcore and Mad Ribbon and stuff, they were trying to organise their own stuff, and the rest of us that were sort of mid-tier volunteer people were just sort of like trying to work out where the fuck we'd be going. In the original, like, when you think about the original ESGN, it's very different to what it is today. And so we were just sort of like trying to work out what was happening, like me and Joel and stuff like that, Magic's AU, We were trying to work out, what we were doing, and eventually we just sort of started trying to push Battlefield, and we were just doing that sort of. I was more in that corner for a long time, and then eventually the My Gaming guys, I'm pretty sure I have that right, Madrid and stuff, they went their own way, and we got more control over ESGN. Since then, I've sort of been putting back in a position where I have a lot more responsibility, a lot more control. And it's not that I need control or feel like I want it, but I just like to know that like it's one of those things where you can get the job done properly yourself. So it's good that like people go through you when you probably know the system a little bit better.
Yeah,
and
or
so,
you can see that the system that's being run presently isn't necessarily running as well as it could, and you have a very good idea about what could happen with it, and you sort of go, well, just do it. What are we all sitting around here twiddling our thumbs for? Let's just make some changes. Not everyone reacts to that the same. But
if you're an assertive sort of person that has, I guess, a bit of experience in the front end and the back end, like it's just frustrating to be put in a position where you're having to wait behind people. It's just good to be able to have the freedom to maybe ask one person, or for the most part do the changes yourself. Yeah. And so I'm more in a position now at ESGN that I was in POA. I get asked a lot to do a lot of things myself, and I do a lot of the forum stuff. But officially, in terms of ESGN at the moment, I guess my main role is I'm the head community manager, I think it is. So that means, which basically just means like the head mod.
Head administrator, guy that everyone goes to whenever something's happening with BF3.
Yeah, like that and BF3. So BF3, I'm head of BF3 in terms of an esport.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously doing the 4v4 and like Nathan and stuff's obviously more specifically the 6v6 or whatever.
Yeah.
And then then that plus head mod of the actual forums.
Yeah.
And I get asked to do a lot of stuff in the back end. But apart from that, like it's good to just have a certain amount of responsibility and just be able to sort of like do a certain amount per day and not have to worry about being on all the time. Yeah, the website's growing a lot, and it's good to see that happening.
Yeah, what do you think of the recent development? I mean, I suppose ESGN has just gone from strength to strength in recent months. What's your feelings about how that's all sort of eventuated? We're seeing a lot more things being done and a lot more activity occurring on ESGN, a lot more competitions and bits and pieces happening, and we're actually seeing a lot more interest and stuff. How are you feeling about that? You're positive about the future? Yeah,
well, one of the more obvious markers for probably when people think about ESGN and think about the more recent boom is probably the design changes. If you go on ESGN now, you'll have like the different icons. It's they've got the green design and the little control pad icon and stuff like that. We've always had like a whole bunch of sponsors, but it's sort of always been sort of on and off about how they were organised and what we were being offered.
And what in turn we could offer back.
Yeah, and what we could offer back. Obviously, Turtle Beach is the main one at the moment.
Absolutely, yep.
And basically, they're just trying to work with us to push, see what we can do. Like it's obviously an investment on their end, and it's good to be able to have some sort of backing for competitions. I think it's good. I much prefer ESGN now, where I know the people specifically who are running it, and I know that we can get stuff done, and I know that I can get my parts done without having to run through like a whole bunch of people I don't know too well. I think we've had more direction now than a long time. I think you can Westy left when ESGN sort of first started. He's back, and he's been one of the main drivers.
Absolutely.
Ash had a period where he was sort of had some stuff in life where he was trying to organise, and he's back full time as well. And we got Supernaut back doing all the design. Like I don't know if you've been on the Battlefield ESGN server, but that server, the server banner's his. It's pretty fucking epic.
Yeah, that's an excellent banner, and that's been popular. And we're doing things like fight nights on Mondays, fight nights on Fridays, and Monday night gaming, and having a bit of a community thing. And we're inviting as many teams and as people as we can to get involved with the community. Activity's way up. Been great to see. I mean, I look at the users online today, and it's 307, which is not that far away from our records. Have you been happy with the results that have come out and been interested to see those?
I've been keeping up with Intermediate, definitely, because I've been playing Intermediate. I haven't been as diligent as I should be with the Pro. I've been leaving it to Nathan.
Mm-hmm. Who's doing a great job, I might say.
He's
giving props to that.
Give him some goals. He does the bulk of the work.
He does.
But in terms of the intermediate matches, they were really good. Like in round one, like I'm just looking at the forum now. DCM, I think it was Muppets.
Yeah.
Lost to 2DT, and 2DT are an example of a team that was it Zermitage? Exterminator, sorry, he's a player that I met. I'm pretty sure it was me. It was me and a couple other people were playing against him, or in a squad with him. I'm pretty sure. I or someone else mentioned ESGN, and he just came and joined. I'm pretty sure it was Exterminator. Could have been someone else from a different clan more recently. But yeah, like they brought in 2DT like really late, but we needed intermediate like team, and they're not a bad bunch. But yeah, so they beat the DCM Muppets. I think our game versus Beer in round 1 was sort of a bit quick. Because not how it sounds. Like we played them at 9 on a Sunday. Like that's when we started. And we played they played a really good series on CN Crossing. Like they were pushing well, and like the games were actually fairly close. Like we won, but not by much. I guess they didn't fully plan out for how long the games might take because they had to leave the next 2 matches, so we got the default win. So hopefully have Muppets played them yet, or I'm not sure.
I couldn't tell you, to be honest. I'm the squad rush guy, so
yeah,
rather busy with finals myself. But
I think the last one in round 1 was the People's Republic got beaten by Ascension. I'm pretty sure it was 3-0. But yeah, round 2, Muppets were going to play Beer. It was set for Saturday, and so Beer beat the Muppets 2-1.
Okay, well that's good for them. Good for Beer. Well done to Beer.
Yeah, I think the biggest problem we have with Beer is they probably would have stayed a lot longer if they had to play on a Saturday. But I mean, I don't want to play on a Saturday.
Yeah, well,
we played on a Saturday last night. We went out to the pub as well, but I'll stay and play fucking Squad Rush. But yeah, we played People's Republic that I mentioned a lot earlier, 2-1, and they were really good games. Like it's funny, like I play the games and sometimes they're just fucking so frustrating. They're just so up and down that I look back on them in hindsight. I'm just like, okay, that was actually worthwhile overall.
So the games can turn around that fast. The games can be, when you've only got 6 infi on the ground, if you guys do your job and shoot them all, it's hard for them to get back to it. By the same token, if you get wiped yourself, you're in big trouble. And I won't mention anything about spawn beacons.
Yeah.
But, that's just me.
Like, you just have to, as you say, be really fluid. Like, we might play Bizarre. We'll have a setup at the start. I might have X cap this flag and X go up here and X go to this flank position to guard it at the start.
Yeah.
But then, like, from then on, balls to the walls, like, okay, X is on this flank, take this person and go for a flank into their base, take this flag, they're taking this flag, coming down this side, I'll come and defend, bring one back to this side, defend that side, well, we'll try and take the middle. Like, it's very, very different to Squad Rush because it's not static defense areas.
No.
It's like I can take a flag on a flank and make people pull back from their flag and then we can take their flag. Like, it's very, very different. And, that's why I thought it was sort of intriguing. Like, I think, like, as I say, 5v5 works, I guess, but we have to be even more specific about the maps. I like 6v6 because you can 3-3 squad a lot easier.
Or you can even run a 4-2. You can run a heavy squad if you want to. And you can really hammer with that while the other squad does something else. Or just harries the enemy, or just camps on individual flags if they need to just distract them. But having that extra guy can sometimes be useful. I'm finding most people are running 3-3.
We'll often play we'll play a map like Markath, or even just some maps, and it'll be in a position where if we have to take the flag on a flank, sometimes we'll even some person will jump into like a squad before, and then spawn, and then jump back out, so the 2 people that he was in the squad with could spawn on him instantly near those other people, stuff like that, little things.
We'll be seeing some interesting things coming from ESGN over the next coming months, and certainly if you guys need any help out there on ESGN with anything, don't ask me, ask Destro. Don't annoy him. I don't know anything. I'm not in charge. I just run 4s, that's all I do. Leave me alone. No, seriously, if you have any issues, please come and see Destro, myself, Triple V, Renegade, the various people in the moderating and administration team on ESGN. Thank you very much for having a chat with us this evening, Destro. We appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Hopefully we'll cut it down to less than the 14 hours we've been speaking and get something decent out there. But yeah, thank you very much for your time, and we'll look forward to seeing you and others in Dispatch and on BF3 and on ESGN in the future.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for watching.
Thanks heaps again, Destro. More interviews with other big guns coming up next week, and hopefully they aren't quite as rambly as these two have been. So the finals in the Squad Rush comp are up, with Fatal Error making it through past Elite Squad Rush Corps, and Exposure defeating Ascension for the right to play out in a final marathon match for the Grand Final. The maps for this match include one from every expansion, including one from the recently released Endgame DLC, just to mix things up a bit. Maps for the final include Salaban Pipeline, Seine Crossing, Strike at Karkand, Epicenter, and Bandar Desert, with the minimum to win being 6 rounds, or ahead by 2 if the result comes to 6-5. This will be a grueling matchup, with both teams having some absolute beasts in their lineup and lots of experience in playing 4v4 combat. We're sure you'll join us all in wishing both teams the best of luck. I'd like to thank ESGN for allowing me to host and administrate it, along with Renegade Misfit and Colonel Heisenberg for helping me administrate it, Destroyed Aus and Triple V for their support in developing the league and their help along the way. Shoutouts also go out to Little Gracie, Claw, Deadly Davy, and Mrs. Orchie for helping with the matchups and map threads throughout the season, and of course Free Black Death for helping develop the original Squad Rush competition rules back in the day. I'd also like to thank every single team and player that competed in our league. Without you guys, this just wouldn't happen, and we're all very humbled that you've come along and played this game and had what I hope was a lot of fun along the way. So best of luck to Exposure and Fatal Error. We'll report on the results next week, and hopefully have some beautiful footage for you as well. And with that, we'll leave you there. This has been Old Man Orchid for the ESGN Battlefield Dispatch, not getting smauled by Vesp on Monday Night Game.